Welcome to episode 8 of Earl's Journey to 900 from inside the International Training and Research Center. My name is Emil Williams Jr. To my left, Tom Frenzel, and to my right, Bob Rayleigh, our guest who has been here now for 3 episodes, courtesy of the Core. If you want to be like Bob and be able to drive Earl throughout our episodes, be sure to subscribe to the Core at bull.com/thecore. When we left you last week, we talked about Kyle Troop. Had a pretty nice series, but we were looking forward to episode 8 and who Bob would choose from a bowler perspective and what ball to throw. And so, Bob, who did you pick and what are we using?
Picked Chris Barnes. He's a very technical guy and a lot of minute changes in his game every day. You know, when he's bowling, he's constantly adjusting tiny little things. So I picked him for that reason, and then picked the 16-pound ball for the purpose because that's what he uses. So
that's new. We haven't used 16 pounds, so that might add a different element of that. Anything you're looking forward to seeing perhaps on the lanes?
Well, yeah, everybody tell you if you'll throw 16, you're never going to leave a single pin standing. So we'll see what happens.
I like that. Bob's enthusiasm has certainly rubbed off on me and Tom. Chris Barnes, one of the best in the world, and as Bob mentioned, so technical and can get to, I feel like, an inch of what he's looking at. What are we expecting to see today?
So we're using ball number 6, which is actually the same ball from a couple weeks ago that Shannon used, except a pound heavier. We're throwing in a 2,000 grit surface, and we're throwing it like Chris Barnes. So these ball paths are not going to hook as much as last week, but they're going to hook a little bit more than Shannon's do. And the nice thing about Chris Barnes is he has a huge versatility range. He can change his ball speed 5 miles an hour from slowest to fastest. But we're going to dial him in at his normal factors and use those ranges that he has measured right here at the training center when Team USA comes to camp to control how much we can adjust Earl. In the long run, the goal is to strike as much as possible. So let's get out there and see how many strikes we get.
Yeah, let's get it done. We're still on Earl's Journey to 900. Just a quick reminder on the rules. Strikes are strikes. Splits, we'll give Earl the count, and any makeable spare, Earl will have it. So without a doubt, let's get right to it. Episode 8 coming up.
Crouch there. Then it's going to start. Yeah, that's I'm pretty hard-headed.
7:31, the final score in episode 8 in the form of Chris Barnes. Certainly what we expected from Chris. We made a lot of subtle moves, some things that we think he would do from a technical standpoint, Tom. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Got off to another great start again. Ran into some trouble late in the third game, but you and Bob were able to work together and figure that out.
Yeah, so we're just moving right along. We still had 10 pins here and there, even with the heavier weight. Making small fine-tune adjustments. We found that if the ball didn't quite go through the pins the right way, we would just move a hair of a trajectory each shot and get it into the point to where when he pitched it out, it still struck. So we definitely learned something. We can play with the trajectory a little bit to get it as far left as we can get it, even while we're striking. So that's going to be helpful moving forward, I think. Moving off of the last episode, we definitely focused on controlling the break point more. And I think it helped. We're 30 pins higher than the last week. So Bob's made steady improvements week to week to week, and I think we've learned a good deal from it.
And speaking of Bob, you're 3 episodes in. First, talk to me about Chris and what you expected, and to actually what we saw Earl perform as.
Based on the first 2 episodes that we did, I learned that the small adjustments on a straighter ball like Chris throws, his hook isn't real big at the end, so it's not as explosive at the back end that way, and it's easier to control. So based on that, when I was talking with Tom and that, we went with smaller moves, smaller adjustments more often, and that really helped us keep that ball real close to the pocket and the head pin.
3 episodes in, this was your final one, of course. What was the experience like to come in, be Earl for 3 episodes here at the ITRC?
The robot Earl is awesome, and that you get to see what he does and how he does it and all that. The better part of the experience is working with you guys. All of you were great to have here to show me around, show me what was going on, what we were doing, why and how it works. Everybody's very open and very friendly and welcoming, and you can't ask for anything better than that. It was an awesome experience, a great time.
If you could change anything, or thinking about the episodes as a whole, would you go back and change something? If you could give advice to the next core subscriber who will be in your shoes, what would you say?
Don't put a shiny ball in Shannon's hands on this pattern. That would be my biggest thing. I would have changed. Unlike in a regular bowling alley at a house, and that when you come with your arsenal, you have many to choose from, and you can adjust as you go. What you're doing here with this and with Earl is one ball, one surface, and one oil pattern, and that pattern moves and leaves you rather quickly. Earl makes adjustments, tears up the lane when he's throwing it out there because he's very consistent. Having that shiny ball for Shannon just didn't give her enough to go into the pocket really strong, and that's why we ended up leaving a lot of single pins.
Well, I appreciate it, Bob. It was fun to have you. Pleasure to meet you, and we look forward. Hopefully your advice will help the next core subscriber.
I appreciate it, and thanks for everything. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. So episode 8 is in the books. Don't forget, folks, if you want to be like Bob, he got to experience this for 3 episodes. He was in control. He was the driver. The only way to do that is to be a subscriber to the core. Bowl.com/thecore. Check out Earl's Journey to 900 when you get there. And also check out the other things, content, VIP experiences, and other things that you get as a member of the core. It was a fun 3 weeks with Bob, and we look forward to seeing who our next core subscriber will be. Don't forget, folks, check us out, Bowl TV. Like, share, subscribe, not only to the core, but to Bowl TV. Drop those comments. Let us know. Was Bob right? What could he have done differently? I think everyone has a couple of opinions, and we look forward to reading yours as well. So for Tom Frenzel, Bob Raley, we appreciate him so much. Jason Thomas, my name is E.A.R.L. Williams Jr. We will see you next week inside the core.